Welcome to Boggersox TV. We've got lots of classic and original TV shows. Subscribe now and enjoy the video.
Not the shrinking cat, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
Come down, Grandpa.
It was an exciting day at the Mill on the Marsh because a special guest was staying. She was a famous writer who wrote children's stories, and her name was Nattie Scribbler.
You are so lucky to be staying here all summer. It's the most beautiful place. Yes, it is, Wolfie, and you're a lucky boy too, aren't you?
I've got a plane.
Oh, it's wonderful. Does it fly?
Sometimes.
Will you tell us a story, Nattie?
When I've thought of one, I will. You see, I want to start on a new story, and I'm hoping that something in this wonderful mill will give me a bright idea. It's so lovely, and well, it feels almost magical.
It very is. Yes, Nattie Scribbler was here to discover the magic of the Mill on the Marsh.
The first thing I need is peace and quiet. Goodness, what can that be?
I don't know. We'll find out. Come on, Elsie.
So, off we went to find out about the noise.
In the kitchen, Grandpa and Uncle CJ had heard the noise too.
No, not today. It's Loretta. Sounds like a goose trying to lay an egg.
Then the noise started again.
It started again. What is it?
It's Loretta. She's learning to play the trombone.
But Nattie needs it to be quiet to think up a story.
Hey, Danny me. It's coming on, eh? Why?
Nattie Scribbler's upstairs trying to think of a story.
Why didn't somebody say? Oh, I've got loads of ideas, I have.
No, Loretta, wait. She wants ideas from Josh and Elsie.
Oh, don't be silly, Grandpa. They won't have any ideas. They're children.
And off she went.
I do love your work. And to hear you're after an idea. Well, I'm full of ideas, me. I'm very creative in many ways. You may have heard me playing the trombone earlier.
I did.
Oh, what about a story about a mermaid? Or a giant? Or a baboon with a big blue bottom?
I'm not sure that's quite my style.
I know what you need. I've got just the thing. I'll be right back. Don't you bother her, you two. I know what you're like.
And off she went.
Sorry, that's our great Aunt Loretta.
She's very, what's the word?
Bunkers.
Interesting.
I think I might just go to my room for a little while. Sometimes, if I lie down, I get a bright idea for a story.
She just wants to get away from you-know-who.
Well, we need to stop you-know-who. Come on.
You-know-who was giving Nattie green gloop.
Drink up. I'm here to help.
Loretta, I think Miss Scribbler wants to be left alone.
Nonsense. We're having a nice little chat, aren't we?
Actually, I'm not sure the mill is quite the right place for me to have a bright idea after all.
Rubbish. It's the perfect place.
Loretta, I really do think...
I know. I'll tell you one of my stories that'll get you going. Now, let me see. Once upon a time, there was a potato. Out. All the other vegetables used to call him Muddy Spud.
Oh, it's hopeless. Nattie Scribbler says she doesn't think the mill is the right place to have an idea. and Loretta started telling a story about a potato.
Oh no, not Muddy Spud. I'll see what I can do. You two come with me.
Grandpa had a plan, so we followed him upstairs.
You've got to get Loretta out of her room. Give me the thumbs up when Nattie's alone.
But what are you going to do?
What do you think I'm going to do?
Not the shrinking cat, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
Well, you know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He can make all kinds of things work. He can drive the toy car, he can chuff around in the Sunnysands train.
And he can even make Mrs. Ostrich fly, which is odd, because ostriches can't fly, actually.
Today, he jumped into my cousin Jason's plane. And before we knew it, he flew right out of the window. Grandpa landed in the big nut tree in the meadow.
We had to get Loretta away from Nattie, and I had an idea. I ran to Nattie's room, and Josh went to let Grandpa in on my plan.
Stay there until I give you the sign, Grandpa.
So Muddy Spud said to the radishes, what is it, Elsie?
I know how you can help, something that only you can do. You can make Nattie a sardine and strawberry tart.
Oh, yes. You're right. That is something that only I can do.
Thank you, Elsie. I really don't think I'm going to have a bright idea here after all. I do feel peculiar after the gloop.
Maybe a little rest will help. And some fresh air.
Oh.
So, I opened the window and went to tell Josh that it was all clear. All clear. Right.
Then I gave Grandpa the sign.
And he took off and flew in through Nattie's window. She couldn't believe her eyes. Then he landed on the dressing table.
Oh, my goodness. A little man.
At your service, ma'am.
What are you doing here?
Well, I heard you were hoping for a bright idea for a story, so I thought I'd just pop in and see if I could help.
But this is magic.
Oh, yes. The mill on the marsh is a magical place, you know.
I thought so the minute I walked in, but I just haven't had an idea.
Well, I think you have now.
I think so too.
You never know where an idea may be. Sometimes it's right before your eyes. It might be hiding and you just can't find it. Then it takes you by surprise.
So true.
You never know when the next story will strike. You might wait forever and a day. Then you get that feeling, that magical feeling that a story's on its way.
Bright ideas, bright ideas. I've been having them for years and years. And this time I waited as long as I can. And at last it's here, the best idea.
I'll give a cheer.
The best idea has come from a little magic man.
Pleased to be of service, ma'am.
And Grandpa ran, got back into the plane, and off he flew. We were all ready to hear Nattie's new story.
Oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait. And here's a nice slice of sardine and strawberry tart for afters.
We didn't know where Grandpa was, but suddenly we saw the plane landing.
I'd better wake Grandpa up. He's sure to want to listen.
No, Uncle, there isn't time. We can tell Grandpa the story.
Ready?
And Nattie began.
Once upon a time, there were two children called Elsie and Josh, and a little dog called Wolfie. And they were living in a wonderful windmill. A writer came to stay. She wanted an idea for a new story, but try as she might, she just couldn't think of one. A kind old lady at the mill gave her some green gloop to help.
Oh, that's me! I'm in it!
Then she decided to have a rest. Just then, the children sent their magic plane through her window, and to her great surprise, out stepped a little man. A little magic man. And they sang a song together all about bright ideas. Bright ideas, bright ideas. I've been having them for years and years, and this time I've waited as long as I can, and at last it's here. The best idea has come from a little magic man. And well, what do you know? Now the writer has a brand new story, and she will call it The Magic of the Mill on the Marsh.
Good story. Well done.
Oh, thank you. I have had a lot of practice at writing stories.
Oh, that reminds me.
And off went Great Aunt Loretta.
And now I've got my new story, I think I'll take a walk outside.
I'll show you round, Nattie. You'll love it. Come and see the meadow.
Oh, that's just
wonderful this
Wait,
time of
is
year.
it just beautiful?
Grandpa quickly jumped off the toy box.
Come on, Grandpa, quick.
We did it! We gave Nattie Scribbler a brand new idea for a story.
And we're in the story.
That's because we all helped.
Teamwork. Then the trombone started up again.
Oh, look who's here. Had a nice little lie down, have we? Helped Nattie with her story, I did.
Oh, well, I'm glad she's had a bright idea. Huh? Bright ideas, bright ideas.
Oh, I've been having them for years. Hang on. How do you know that song?
Oh, it's an old favourite, Loretta.
Teamwork.
Rosy and Fizz, Rosy and Fizz, playing together, whatever the weather. Two best friends and the fun never ends. So come on in and play with Rosy and Fizz.
Hello, my name is Lucy, and this is Rosie. Hello, Rosie. Let's put Rosie here. And this is Fizz. Hello, Fizz. And Rosie and Fizz have been very busy today playing with their toys, and inside their toy box are lots of clues for today's story. Shall we have a look? There's a toy cart, a bench, a wooden bench, and a tiny book. I wonder, whose book is this? Shall we find out? Let's switch to story time. And we switch to story time by making a big story clock. Can you make a big story clock with me? After 3, 1, 2, 3, a big story clock with seconds, minutes and hours. And pretend your body is the big hand and put your little hand like this and join in with me.
Tick tock, it's the story clock. It must be time for a story. Tick tock, it's the story clock. Are you ready for a story? Stretch up high, stretch down low. Wriggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Tick tock, it's the story clock. Hands up, who's ready for a story?
Fizz was busy collecting things. So far, Fizz had found some pink ribbon, a shiny coin, a stripy glove, and then Fizz spotted hedgehog. "Hello, hedgehog," said Fizz. But Fizz let go of the cart. Uh-oh!
"Look out, hedgehog," said Fizz. Bump! Crash! "Oops," said Fizz. "Bother, my wheel has come off." Fizz found his wheel under the long grass, and it wasn't the only thing he found. It's a book. Inside it said, "Please return to Library Mouse." "Who's Library Mouse?" asked Fizz. Hedgehog didn't know. "Let's ask Rosy."
"I don't know where Library Mouse lives," said Rosy. "Is there a clue in the book?" Fizz looked closely. "Oh, yes, there is," said Fizz. On the back cover was a tiny piece of green paper. It said, "Map." "Through the hedgerow, 3 steps 4. Over the bridge, find the red door." "There it is," said Rosy. "Look, there's Dr. Dolly and Owl and Bee." "Hi, Bee," said Fizz. "That must be Library Mouse," whispered Rosy. "Hello, can I help you?" he asked. "Oh, yes," said Fizz. "I found this book in the long grass. It says it belongs to you." "Ah, thank you," said Library Mouse. "It belongs to the library. I've been looking for this for a while. Would you like to come inside?" Open the door, let's explore. Rows and rows of books galore. Stacked up high, stacked down low. Choose a book, where will you go? "Do you have a book about fixing things?" asked Fizz. Fizz remembered his broken cart. "Oh, yes we do," said Library Mouse. Just then, Fizz noticed a stripy glove on the shelf. "I found a glove just like that today," said Fizz. "You found my missing glove," said Library Mouse. "I lost it one day when I was out for a walk." "Would you like me to fetch it now?" said Fizz. "Why don't you bring the glove back to me when you return the book?" "That's a good idea," said Fizz. And that's what he did. And that was the story of Rosy and Fizz and the library. It's nearly time for Rosy and Fizz to go, but just before we do, let's stick the map, the stripy glove and the book inside the Rosy and Fizz storybook, so they'll always remember their story adventure. And why don't you join us next time for another Rosy and Fizz story? I wonder what toys we'll find inside their toy box. We'll see you then. Bye! Right then, should we find a page? So let's find a page and let's stick in the book first. Let's do that. Find a page and here's the book. Bye!